Do you ever feel like stress is running your life? There's no question about the negative health consequences that chronic stress has on our body. What if I told you there's actually a way to measure how stressed your body is? Once you measure your stress, now you can start seeing what things increase your stress. And more importantly, what things do you do to actually lower your stress? In this video, I'm going to uncover the secret of HRV, heart rate variability, and how you can use it to manage your stress, improve your longevity, and live a healthy, enjoyable life. So what is HRV? Well, HRV stands for Heart Rate Variability. If you were to measure your pulse and you came back with a measurement of 60 beats per minute, it doesn't mean your heart is beating once every second. The difference between beat 1 and beat 2 may be 0.9 seconds. And the difference between beat 2 and beat 3 may be 1.3 seconds. That's the variance or the variability in your heart rates. Heart rate variability is essentially a measure of the autonomic nervous system that impacts your heart. You see, your heart has a natural rhythm to it. This is one of the reasons that heart transplants are possible. When you pull a heart out of the human body, it will beat all by itself. Heart rate variability is a reflection of the influence your autonomic nervous system is having on your heart. Your heart has its own natural rhythm. This is one of the reasons that heart transplants are possible, because the heart will continue to beat even though it's been removed from a human body. The two divisions of your nervous system are your sympathetic and your parasympathetic. Your parasympathetic is your resting and digesting, and your sympathetic is your fight or flight. And depending on the influence of these two will influence your heart rate and your heart rate variability. So why does heart rate variability matter? Well, it's a reasonable measure for the amount of stress your body's under. As we get stressed, as we experience stressful situations, our sympathetic nervous system activity significantly increases. As our sympathetic nervous system activity goes up, our heart rate variability goes down. And this is one of the ways we want to use heart rate variability. Higher is better. And as it's going down, it's suggested that your sympathetic system activity is increasing. Sympathetic system is going to be dealing with infection, injuries. It's not uncommon for your heart rate variability to go down a couple of days prior to being sick or exhibiting symptoms of being sick. We all know about the negative impacts of chronic stress. Chronic stress has very, very significant negative impacts on our overall health. And so we can use heart rate variability as a way to measure how our recovery is and what our resilience is like. As our heart rate variability goes up, our ability to recover and our resilience to stress also goes up. So how do you measure heart rate variability? Well, there's a bunch of different ways. Very many wearables, things like Fitbits, Apple Watches, they often have a setting which will measure your heart rate variability. Many heart rate monitors. There's also an app that I use called Heart HRV for training. It's a free app, and it actually uses the camera and the light on the flash on your phone to calibrate and measure your heart rate variability. The best time to measure your heart rate variability is first thing in the morning, ideally before you even get out of bed. That's going to give you the most consistent measurement. Once you start measuring your HRV, it can be very helpful to track it, and you're going to begin to learn the things that you do that increase your heart rate variability, and more importantly, the things that you're doing that are lowering your heart rate variability and adding stress. Once you begin measuring it, you can try stress reduction methods like deep breathing, yoga, meditation, and see how those things impact your HRV. An increase in HRV has been shown to be associated with longevity and reduction of chronic disease risk. It's a very valuable measure to be able to understand the stress load that your body is being placed under. If you found this video helpful, let me know. If there's other topics you'd like me to cover, share those in the comments below. Any questions about HRV? Put those in the comments below.